Hello pretty peoples, KawaJapa no Kyodori desu. I am Kyodori from KawaJapa. Last week we talked about the te form and we learned how easy it is to make and to recognize once we know how it really works. These are some of the ways the te form is used. I often say that Japanese is a Lego language, and what I mean by that is that it fits together very neatly. We can fit together parts of words, parts of sentences, kanji and other elements, and they all fit together in a number of very, very regular ways, just like Lego. They all have the same little bumps and the same little holes that fit them. So, one of the regular Lego uses with the te form is what's called the continuous present. The ordinary present is walk, the continuous present is be walking. And this is just the same in Japanese. What we do in Japanese is we fit the verb iru onto the end of the te form. Now, iru is not some strange grammatical ending. It is a regular verb that we know very well. It's iru, to be. So we say, Nihiki no neko ga iru. There are two cats. Two cats exist. Two cats be. So it's very similar to English. In English we either walk or we can be walking. In Japanese we either aruku or aruite iru. And iru is simply a regular ichidan verb. So when we want to do other things with it, we just knock off that ru and put on whatever we need. Don't be put off by the fact that when you knock off the ru, there's just I left. It's still a regular ichidan verb. So, if we want to say was walking instead of be walking, we just put it into the ta form as we learned last week. Ita, aruite ita, was walking. If we want to put it into the negative, we just knock off the ru and add the helper adjective nai. Aruite inai is not walking. And if we want to put that nai into the past tense, we do it just the way we do with every I adjective. And nai, as I explained before, is an I adjective. So we cut off the I and put on katta. Aruite inakatta, was not walking. Now, one thing we should notice about this form, where it does differ a little bit from English, is that it can not only mean that one is in the act of doing something, but also it can mean that one has done something and the effects of that act continue. So, you might ask, Sakura ga nete imasu ka? Is Sakura sleeping? And the answer might be, iya, okite-iru. No, she is up. She is awake. Okite-iru could mean to be in the act of getting up if that was taking you a long time, but most often what it means is that you have got up and you continue to be up, so you are still in the state of being up. Okite-iru. There are occasions also when we use aru rather than iru. When do we do this? Well, for example, we might say Mado ga aite-iru, and that means the window is open. But we can also say Mado ga akete aru, and that means also that the window is open, but it means that somebody opened it, somebody has deliberately left it open for some reason. Is there a logic to this? Is there a reason why we use aru rather than iru in this situation? Yes, there is a logic, and the logic is this. When we say Mado ga aite-iru, we are treating the window almost as an honorary animate being. We are not implying that any other agent did anything to make it be open, even though in fact they probably did. We are treating it as if it were open of its own volition. If we say Mado ga akete aru, then we are putting the emphasis on the fact that somebody opened it and it's been left open for a reason. The will involved here is not the will of the window, it's the will of some other agent. Therefore, we are very clearly and expressly treating the window as an inanimate object, and therefore we give it aru. And that is the logic behind this distinction. In one case, we are treating the window grammatically as if it were an animate being. In the other, we are treating it grammatically as if it is an inanimate object. And one case in which we use te-aru almost all the time is when something is written. In English we say the sign said this or the book said that, which is actually rather animist in a way, isn't it? As if the sign or the book could talk. In Japanese we say on ni kaite aru. It was written in the book because someone else always does the writing. The writing isn't just there. It was done by somebody. We almost always say kaite aru, not kaite iru. Now we use the te form to make other kinds of compound verb. A common one is made with motsu, to carry. You're probably familiar with this from the te-iru form. Do you have a pencil? Enpitsu ga motte imasu ka? Literally, are you carrying a pencil? Do you have a pencil on your person? Now we can also say motte kuru. This means carry and come. In English we say bring or fetch. In Japanese we lego together motsu and kuru with the te form to make motte kuru, bring. Similarly, te-iku, which means the opposite of bring, doesn't it? It means take. Take it away. Take it somewhere. Te-iku, carry and go. Te-kuru, carry and come. Now we can also use these te-kuru and te-iku ending in less literal ways. For example, ame ga futte kita. What does that mean? It literally means ame, rain, fall came. How do we say that in English? Well, we might say it came on to rain. Or, sorry, na wakatte kita. That became clear. So you see, this works somewhat similarly to similar expressions in English. And also we often put kuru onto the end of a verb when we're going to do it and come back. The commonest example of that is ittekimasu, which in English is probably I'm going out. But in Japanese we don't forget to say that we're also returning. Remember that the textbook for this course of lessons is Unlocking Japanese, and you can get it at Amazon in paperback or Kindle editions. And if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments below and I will be happy to answer. Thank you for attending this lesson. これからもよろしくお願いします. Class dismissed.